What's up, guys? It's Talon. Today I'm going to be coaching a master peaking Kayn Nunu player. They're kind of newer to Kayn, and so the first game is on Kayn, a champ that they don't play as much, and then after that we got the Nunu, which is a champ they play a lot more of. They're currently in Emerald, and so I'm just going to be coaching them on jungle. I think the most important thing here is kind of initially, especially again for the Nunu game, is the early jungle pathing, and then the paying attention to objectives and kind of understanding what to do right before objectives are spawning and all of that type of stuff. If you guys are interested in coaching, DM me on Discord or Twitter. Links in the description to that. It's $15 an hour, and we'll review replays, or we can do live gameplays if you want, but I think replays are more valuable. It's up to you guys, though. And anyways, I hope you enjoy the video. Let's get right into it first. So, I mean, initially, I always want to ask people, like, about the lanes we're playing, so, like, just to see, you know, because as jungle, it's pretty important to understand the lane matchup, so I just, like, what lanes do you think are kind of, like, winning and going to have prior early game?
To be honest, at first, Lucia and Malphite would be a bit weaker in the earlier game because of Zeri not being strong in the early game, and also Yumi is like has its potential when the AD is really like fed. But after level 5, I think the bottom like Lucia and Malphite will win. Morgana, Akali, that's obvious. Caitlyn and Yon. To be honest, like if Yon is a good player, it will be easy to win. And yep,
Morgana Akali is
as I just
obvious in what way?
like Akali, no, like it's like all like there will not be much happening in lane unless like
Yeah.
opponent's
Yeah,
jungler
Morgana will
jungling.
just clear for a minute.
Yeah, so like, it will not have that much fights, stuff like that.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, like Caitlyn, Yone, yeah, you're right. Like if it's the Yone's actually good, they might be able to do something, but if the Caitlyn's actually good, the Caitlyn should win it because a huge range advantage, but you also will probably want to like that's very gankable. Like Caitlyn's very gankable, so you'd probably be pretty worried about her
Yeah,
getting
true.
ganked, but
Yeah.
and I mean I would say Lucian Malphite will win from level 1 probably,
Yeah.
but it kind
Lucian
of
is like
depends.
a strong, yeah. So like at first I'm not sure why my Morgana just like held on to that rune, which is like a useless
Glacial
rune for
Augment,
a
yeah,
mid
that's not
lane.
gonna do much on her. But how come you're going first
Yeah.
strike, by the way? Because I feel like you're not gonna get the first strike like half the time as Kayn.
Just like I was trying it out. I was trying to use like what is that? Like Thunder? Is that the right name for it?
Thunder,
Like
yeah.
that.
The one that, yeah,
I
like
used
Trinity Force other
yeah,
type item, the Sheen
yeah,
item.
yeah. I used to use that or just like Conquer and just like I was trying out this new rune. So yeah, like, not that much.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think it's the best on
Also,
Kayn, but I don't know.
yeah. So like, after using it, I think I really like that. What is that? Um, like what should I call that? Like the true damage.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
The true
when
damage is
yeah,
nice.
yeah. So I'm just like finding a good champ like Kha'Zix, something like that, which would match pretty good on it. Yeah. Like not that much happening in the early game, just like clearing out my
Yeah,
like what
yeah.
is
You
that,
didn't back
camps.
for sweeper. How come was that like a misclick? Because I saw you were backing and you just stopped. Or how come you
Yeah,
stopped
yeah, just
back?
like it was just like a accident.
Okay, okay. Also, I don't know, like I don't play Kayn again, but have you tried like going like the
Mhm.
Shimmering Spark at the start of the game to like get your form a lot faster?
Oh yeah, I tried it, but like I saw this YouTuber just like trying this build. I just like trying it out if
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
good or not. Also,
Are
it's
these
like
like your
early
main
season.
champs, or are you kind of still trying stuff out?
For Kane, I'm just trying it out because, like, to be honest, right now my main jungler is Nunu,
Okay.
and other than that, I'm just like trying out which would fit on me. And the reason why I went blue here is because what is that? That Twitch was on the left side on the mid bush.
Yeah, I mean,
And
you have flash and you're Kayn, so it's pretty easy to get out like that. I like that. The only thing is you had no prio, so like continuing to go forward after here is like pretty greedy because like you can see your Caitlyn's pushed under tower and the Yone's coming. Like unless you can
yeah,
one shot him, like getting his flash is good, but like getting out right after is fine. It's just you didn't have any
yeah,
prio here, so it's kind of like risky, but it worked out. And yeah, as Kayn, like you can be greedy early game because you have the thing over the wall and your flash up, so I don't mind that.
yeah.
He just used his smite, so
Oh,
it's just a free. I don't know what
yeah.
that guy's doing. Now you just
It's
get double
super.
scuttle.
Right now, Korean server is so weird.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
mean he's
everyone.
probably one of the plats because you have some plats on your team, so he's probably the Twitch is probably plat.
Yeah. So I was trying to get this crab. Is that right? I'm not sure.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like trying to get
Crab.
that, but they were overextending, so I was just like trying to take out some spells, and unfortunately, I had to use my flash, and then our bottom it's like killed both of them.
Yeah, small thing, but it
So,
should be a habit kind of to use your spell. Like you could have just smited him when you were on that gank, just to help out slowing
oh,
him and everything. But that, like, I
yeah,
know you want your smite for clearing and everything, but when you're on ganks like that and it's like really close, I would always try to use my smite as a habit. So
okay. Oh, also right now, our Caitlyn just like pinged me because I wasn't over there, which was my like laning. Is that right? Like my jungle like pathways.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like impossible to go there at this time period.
yeah. Don't worry
And
about
then
it. People are gonna be dumb. Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. Like I
yeah,
would mute chat
like
too. I wouldn't even look at the chat.
mm, just like even I see the chat, I just like never respond.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, it's useless. Like make the plays you think are correct. Your teammates might rage at you. It doesn't matter. I mean, you have a platinum Caitlyn top lane. I wouldn't really think that they'll do very well, so I would probably not play around them unless they start doing well early
yeah.
game. Like if she like it's like a solo kill, then you could maybe think about it.
Mm,
But realistically, when I see a Caitlyn top, I'm expecting them to do bad, and I'm not really gonna play around them most of the
yeah,
time. So
true. It's
especially
like
not when she's
unless
plat. Like
yeah, like if this is in high elo, I might consider about it. But
yeah, yeah,
right now, it's like early season, that guy is a diamond player. I'm not sure. Like, but he was overcommitting.
yeah.
I
This
just
is
like
good.
tried to take out his spell.
So far, the
And
early game, it looks like you're mostly playing it well. So, and again, if you
yeah,
smite earlier there, like it might be easier to kill, but the Caitlyn does get the Q, so
yeah,
that's good. But that should just be a
yeah.
habit to pretty much just smite on these ganks and whatever.
Okay, yeah. And while I was ganking top, our mid got ganked, and then it's pinging me now again. It's like,
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, you don't got to worry about that type of stuff. It's just people are gonna get annoyed, but the amount of times you've ganked already this game is like a lot. Like this is definitely you've helped out your laners enough, farmed well. I mean, the early game you've played well so far, so.
yeah. It's like, I just like want to know how to like win smite stuff like that because if I play Nunu, my Q, my fully upgrade
Yeah,
Q
it's so
has like a
easy.
so it's really easy to win smites, but for other junglers, it's like not like that.
So
So I
the
just like
the the way I mean honestly I'm not a great smiter. Like I was when I was playing jungle, but I stopped playing jungle for a while and like I've started playing again recently.
mhm,
I'm not the best at smiting, but when I was like playing a lot of jungle, all I do is I go into the practice tool, you know, like the practice tool, right? Or
yeah.
so I go into that. I would choose whatever champions I want to learn because I recommend you actually like eventually choose 2 to 3 champions that you just really want to play and you only play those. You can like test
Yeah.
these Kayn and whatever out, but once you figure out whatever champs it is, you just play those. Go into practice
Mm,
tool, put yourself at every different item that you're gonna buy roughly, like your first like 2 or 3 items, and then put yourself at level like
yeah.
5, 6, level like 7, 8, you know, all the different levels that you'll be when you get those items roughly and then
Mm,
see exactly how much your combo does. So you know the exact number. Like you know it does 1200 to dragon, 1400 to baron, or whatever amount of damage it does. Then you are looking for an actual number to use your full combo at, like if you're using Q smite or whatever you're comboing with your champion. And then after
mhm,
that, the best way to practice in actual games is just to take these 50-50s. So I know like usually it's a bad idea to just 50-50 a
Yeah,
Baron or something. But when your goal is
yeah,
to practice smiting, you should do that. Even if it's a stupid play, just so that you can get better at it. And then once you're actually better at it, that's when you stop taking the stupid 50-50s and then you just go for like the actual plays that you should. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
and then this
So
fight here, we can look back. I was kind of talking, so what exactly
yeah,
happened?
from the dragon, I'm not sure if that was like the right decision I made, and also this thing. So
I mean, like, okay, so one, it's in a Akali who's like going to one shot Morgana because she's like next to Morgana, obviously an assassin being so close, and like you're taking a super roundabout angle when your turret's
yeah,
about to die. Like you're flanking Akali's not going to do much anyways. Like you might as well be either going straight at her as fast as possible or just trying to defend Herald and not even fighting. But since you didn't know
yeah,
anyone else was here, I would just be going straight on Akali and instantly trying to fight her rather than like you can see your Morgana's 1 HP by the time you get there. So
yeah, true.
yeah, you just took a bit too long to get there is all. But
Yeah,
apart from
yeah.
that, I mean, your goal should be more to kill the Herald, not to fight anyways, because now it's going to get a second charge. Even if you did kill them here, it would still get a second charge, which is not good. So
Yeah, okay. Yeah, like to be honest, this whole game was really like really bad until like 8 minutes, and then there was like a chance for us to like win,
yeah.
but just like our team just like started to overcommit like
Yeah,
very
you played the
hard.
early game really well. That was the first like kind of bigger mistake. Apart from that, you played
Yeah,
pretty well, which is unfortunate sometimes. I
like,
mean, Blue Kane's really good just for farming up and
yeah. So I was able to like one shot Lucian, like also like not one shot like like almost for Yon, but Akali
yeah.
just like bothers me a lot
Yeah, and I
this
noticed you
whole
don't have
game.
your form yet, or do you? I don't think you play, or
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't.
Like again, I don't actually play Kayn, so I don't like I'm not super familiar, but normally when I play against Kayn's, especially when they go to Spark, I feel like they get it so much earlier, so I'd recommend probably
Yeah,
trying that out. It does feel
like
like it's pretty late.
usually if we go Spark, we can get our form before Dragon if you
Yeah.
play like really smartly.
Yeah, I would
But
say that's definitely going to be something you should focus on as well. But
yeah, like I'm just trying this champ out,
yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah,
Are there other champs you're like looking to
Nunu.
try out
I
or
was
just
like
that you
trying to
play a lot?
learn for
Learning
Evelyn.
what? Evelyn? Okay.
Evelyn, yeah, but like I'm not sure about that champ. If the early game is screwed up, it's pretty hard to like recover.
Yeah.
But it was a champ is pretty good though, to be
Yeah, I think
honest.
Evelyn's really strong right now for sure. I don't know, do
Yeah.
you ever watch Twitch or no?
Twitch,
Yeah, or
like
no?
the nah,
Okay.
like
I
like
was just there's
some.
like a really good Evelyn one trick that streams on Twitch, so
Oh really? Like
yeah.
if you leave me the
Yeah,
guy's
I'll
like
link you it,
profile,
yeah.
sure. It's like overall this game, it's really hard for me. I just like it like I got my form at 9 minutes, which is really slow.
Yeah.
But still I try my best. Like I'm not sure if this like is this my best decision, but still like like everything that could come out from my brain, I try my best. But
Yeah, I would just be more focused on farming here. Like I don't really see why you didn't go for Gromp here. You saw like the
oh
fight
yeah.
going on, but I wouldn't be like when I'm looking at the situation, I'm trying to figure out what's gonna actually like happen. Like if they're what I'm gonna lose versus gain basically with the farming. And what you see is
Mhm.
you see two people on top lane, meaning
Yeah.
it's not like there's like everyone mid. Like you have the Caitlyn Morgana, they'll probably be able to get out if anything happens. All you saw was a Akali after you farm this, so I wouldn't really expect much to happen. So I would just be going for my Gromp just to guarantee more farm. Like this is a smaller thing because this game is pretty lost. It's pretty hard at this point, but I would be valuing my farm and then like going to fight after rather than you just kind of going here. You don't really achieve anything coming here because there's no
Yeah.
like fight or anything like that. You might even okay, maybe you'll kill her, I guess, which or him. I don't know why I said her. That's good, I guess.
Yeah, just like this was lucky. Just
It's
like
kind of like random, but I
yeah.
really value like with jungle is consistency, is like making the play that will work out every time in solo queue. I think it's important
Hmm.
to value because like you can make these ganks that might work out every once in a while, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't try to take anything that's not guaranteed pretty much. Because especially the
Hmm.
lower elos, it's like you can't really trust your teammates to set up the ganks well or anything like that. So if the wave is not like in a really good spot to gank, also I don't know why you're farming here. The dragon
I,
spawning,
I
so
was I was trying to go back home and buy that mana mune, but my team just like started to die. So I just
but
like
why would we do that when the objective is spawning? Like looking
oh
at the
yeah, that's
situation, we've killed 3 people.
yeah. Oh
Why
yeah.
why would you come here when 3 people are dead? Like even earlier, everyone's dead. You should like literally like when you go kill them. I mean, you either straight up go there or you back and then you go right away when you're full health. It doesn't matter about your item here. One, because Manamune's not a power spike until you stack Manamune anyways, and you don't have it stacked, so it's not even going to be that big of a power spike
Yeah.
for you. But two, I mean, their
Hmm.
jungler's dead. Malphite's 1 HP. Instead of even going for this kill, like I mean, going for this kill's fine since it's not spawned yet, but like you should just immediately be on the dragon. There's no reason to not be on dragon here.
Oh yeah.
And in
I think
general,
like
sorry, one more thing and then I'll let you talk. But just
yeah.
objective timers are like the most important thing. Like I was telling you with the farming thing, the reason I wanted you farming there is
Yeah.
because the dragon wasn't spawning for 45 seconds. There's not much to achieve because if you get a kill at 45 seconds, it's usually a bad thing
Yeah.
for you to get a kill because they'll respawn and you'll probably waste ultimate or something to kill them, and then you don't have your ultimate for the dragon. So like wasting spells and going for fights at
Mhm.
like 45 seconds is kind of the worst time to fight because you have to use your big cooldowns to get that kill, and then they still respawn for the dragon, so it's useless. But if you kill them like 10 or 15 seconds before, like you just did, that is perfect
Yeah.
because you can go for the dragon. But what you do now is you waste that opportunity. Now you don't have your ultimate, and say hypothetically you did use your flash in that fight, you wouldn't have your flash, and like it would be wasted as well. And your teammates waste your cooldowns. So now when you go to this next fight, since you're not taking advantage of them being dead, you're gonna fight them while you wasted a lot of cooldowns in that fight that you just had. So
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think like I wasn't like noticing about that dragon until now.
yeah.
Like I
And
just
even then now
noticed
you're
it.
farming again, but why would you farm this? Even if your goal was Manamune, why would you farm this when you already have Manamune? You should be going drag again, like going drag right away,
Oh yeah.
but I guess you gave up because
Oh
your team's dead now, so
yeah.
unfortunate. I don't know, do you have the first dragon here or do they have the dragon? I think they have it, right?
Yeah, I think so. I might open that like what is
Yeah,
that
the map,
menu
yeah,
thing?
whatever. Not the map. I don't even know what I call it. The scoreboard. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Soon I guess. I'm not
But yeah,
sure.
them having 2 dragons is really bad as well, obviously, like because the bonus is stacked, so that's pretty problematic. Okay, you had the first one.
Oh
That's not as bad.
yeah.
It's not as bad to give it up, but again, we could have got both, and then getting 2 for you is super super good. Like you wouldn't even really be losing. Okay, let's look at the scoreboard here. I also think it is important to look at scoreboard more often. I don't see you doing it very often.
Mm,
I'm
yeah.
always checking it just to see items, everything really. But looking at the gold, we're not actually behind that much. So your bot lane is scaling way better than theirs, right? Like they're just stronger late game. So that's good. Morgana late game is good. Akali's really ahead though. So that's like the problem is Akali, right?
Yeah.
Twitch and Yon, they're pretty strong as well, but this is 100% a winnable game, especially if you had that dragon. Like I would be pretty fine with the situation of the game overall. So
Mm,
generally, I'm
yeah.
just going to be playing for my bot lane here, though. Like, my Caitlyn, we can tell is kind of dumb. Morgana is just a support at this point. So, like, you should be paying attention to your bot lane in all situations pretty much and, like, trying to help them out if you can.
Yeah, okay. It's like so the main goal for a jungler is like to like take care of like the best lane, I guess.
Sort
Is
of.
that right?
In this game, the main goal of you in this game is to carry because you're strong. So, like, you are probably going to want to try to assassinate people and carry yourself. But if
Yeah.
you, like, can choose, it would be going to help them. And this is kind of unfortunate, honestly. Like, I don't really blame you
Yeah,
for this death. That's just unfortunate. He comes in your jungle and one-shots you. That sucks.
that guy is so strong, so Just
Yeah,
like
yeah. I mean, that's pretty hard. Obviously, like you could have maybe reacted with your ult, but it is what it is. It is hard.
yeah, yeah, that Akali has had a, like a 90% win rate on Akali after
What?
I saw that
Jesus,
person.
that's crazy.
And he was a challenger too.
Okay, that is the one thing about early season is like you could be playing low elo, but then play against a random challenger who like just hasn't played much or
Yeah,
something. So it is a little unfortunate sometimes. But I think this game still was
yeah,
100% winnable if you played it a little bit better. Now your teammates they were bad, so that sucks, right? Like they were not good, but I still think it was winnable anyways. It just
yeah.
was hard.
Yeah, like I think it was like not this game, like not the Nunu, but once there was like a Draven top for me,
Yeah,
and that guy was a challenger, and I think he just like what is that? Um, what do you call this in English? Just like abuse,
yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
like hire people, like upgrade their like elo stuff like that,
Oh, he play like
and
duo or
then
trio, and they would carry.
yeah, it's
Okay.
like abusing.
Yeah,
And
I know
then
what you mean.
that's yeah. I
Oh,
didn't
that
know why he didn't die,
it's
but
the
just have
same. It
Holly.
doesn't smite kill him. You don't smite again? It's just I think you might just kill
Oh,
if you smite him. The
yeah.
IQ's
Like
really low.
I used to smite a lot, but
Yeah, no, he
after
dies if you
like
smite, I think.
yeah, I
Okay, like
used
the
to
only
do that.
time you don't do it is when there's like dragon spawning or like you're gonna go Baron, you know. But otherwise, always use it. There's no reason not to.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
What were you
other
saying
than
though? You
that,
used
like
to?
after
Yeah.
this, I used to smite before, but I just like noticed I was always losing like my objects because I didn't have any smite, which is
Yeah.
like
I
based
mean,
on
you
my
do have to be
experience.
aware of when the objective is spawning to not do it then, but even in those situations, you like if you have two or whatever, you can use it less when you're farming like your regular camps, you know, to have it for fights.
Yeah. Yeah, like after this, we lose Baron and then eventually just like lose the game.
Yeah, I think the main things
Also,
are you need to be preparing for objectives better. Like you're not
yeah,
aware of it right when it's gonna spawn. You're still focused on farming at that point. Don't waste your cooldowns at like bad points before objectives. Don't waste your ultimate like
yeah,
45 seconds before it, and like farm up for your item power spikes a minute or 45 seconds before the objective. Don't do it when the objective is like 15 or 10 seconds away because then that's too late because then you're going to lose the objective and it's not worth it if you're going to lose the objective. So I'd say like those are the main things. Your early
yeah,
game overall was pretty good, and then I'd probably again do the spark with Kayn. Again, I don't play it, but you got your form really late, so I'm assuming you're gonna need that so you can get your form earlier.
yeah. Do you have like any recommendation for jungler? Like I saw you play
Well,
Camille.
yeah, this season. I've got 70% win rate with Vi. Like I think she is so broken this season, but
Uh,
and also like one of the top players in our server has been playing that a ton. But I mean, what type of champs do you like to play? Is there like a specific type of champ, like tanks, assassins, or anything
yeah.
like that?
For me, I'm like a tank support user.
Okay.
So like instead of carrying the game, I know how to carry, but it's like instead of carrying, I'm just like I'm enjoying like feeding my like laners.
Well, then
So
Vi is kind of perfect for that. I've been going the resolve tree too, like aftershock, and
oh
then I think it's Courage of the Colossus. I made a YouTube short on it, so you can look at like the builds.
yeah, I saw it.
But yeah, I think
It's
Vi
pretty
is
good.
good. I think whatever you have fun with though, like most of the tank supports are tank junglers are fine. I mean Rammus if they're like full AD, that type of stuff.
Yeah. And after this, it's like general stuff. It's like the damage, which
Yeah.
I didn't do much. Yeah. And my second one is like Nunu. It's like most of the time, either my ADC or top, it's like throws. And then because of that, I used to have like a 70% win rate, about like 200 games. But like this season, I also had a 70% win rate, but it just like went down to 50 because of that, because everyone was just like throwing.
Yeah, no,
It's like
early season
just
the teammates will be kind of bad, and I understand that, but and I blame them too. But it doesn't help to do it. We can try to focus on what we can still do. Like I usually like the
yeah,
thing I'll try to say is like, wow, my teammates sucked, but if I was better, I could carry those really bad players. Like that's like how I try to think about it. It doesn't always, I don't always. Sometimes I'm too tilted, but that's I think the best way to think about it. So when you have those bad
yeah,
players, you could probably still carry if you're even better. So that's the way I try to think about it. But
yeah.
it's
Like
more
this
important
is
to understand pathing with like Nunu.
yeah,
Like Kayn is kind of you want to farm, but with Nunu you're actually looking for
yeah,
ganks. So like you want to figure out what the most volatile lane is or what's going to be aggressive and then go for that. So I mean, what are your thoughts
yeah.
here in terms of where you want to gank?
So right now my Annie was like it's like not a top champ
Yeah,
we usually use,
she's
and
going
then
boots
like
first too. Like,
also there's Yon. So like my main idea instead of Oriana Ari, they're just like 50-50. I would just like go help Annie push the line, just like take out some spells for Yon, and then I did it, but she still dies for somewhat
so the
reason.
other thing I want to pay attention to when I'm deciding who to gank is who has good gank setup. So if they have CC or whatever. So Annie has CC and Nami does. So those are the only two ones I would really want to gank until Oriana's level 5. But Ari is hard to gank because she's level 5. She ults. So
Yeah,
yeah, mid is hard to gank here unless you see them overextended. I wouldn't try to gank it. Additionally, Lee Sin also wants to gank early, so we want to try to pay attention to his pathing. A lot of times Lee
yeah,
Sins, they'll do like red side first. Like usually if they, it depends on how they want to play. They either can do red into Krugs into level 2 gank or like full clear red side and then level 3 gank mid or top or whatever. But I would expect level 2 or 3 that he's going to gank someone or at least look for it. So I would probably want to be able to counter gank if I can. Because again, your
yeah,
bot lane is pretty like not a lot of fighting probably. It's Vayne, Nami against Samira, Yumi. I wouldn't expect much fighting early on because there's no engaged support in that lane. So I would be playing
yeah,
towards top side if I can. So either you would start red buff and then Raptors into blue, or you can just start blue side. But I would want to be on your blue side by level 3 at least, and then like probably contesting Scuttle if I have Prio. But if I don't have Prio, then I'm gonna go to bot Scuttle. It just kind of depends. So
yeah. So like just like what is that? Vi? Nunu has like a pretty fast jungling.
yeah, Vi's clear is so fast. You can do every single camp except for Krugs before a Scuttle. It's super strong.
Yeah, but you can like what is that? Puts a resolution higher.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
this?
yeah. Oh,
It's already.
oh, oh, sorry.
It might just be
So like
Discord lagging or something.
yeah, I think so. So like my red camp like usually finishes in like 45 seconds.
Yeah,
And then I just like go right away to what is that, the wolves,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then
This is
just like clear
fine.
them out. So I usually like this is my most general like passing for
Yeah.
jungle.
There's one issue though, and
And
it's that you're not looking at the lanes at all. Like, if we actually look at
yeah,
what happened on the lanes, one, you should be scrolling your map if you can, but like, I
yeah,
would be adjusting based on what's happening. Like, if I look in mid, they're trading heavily. I'm trying to look on to see if he flashes since we couldn't tell because you weren't looking. It doesn't look like our Ori or Ari flashes, but we can see they're both getting low health, like from the mini map. We can see bot lanes also kind of trading heavily. Like at this point,
yeah,
if I'm looking at it, my Annie is pushed under her tower. It shouldn't be very likely that she dies. Now maybe she sucks, and if she sucks, then that's her fault. But like she's pushed under tower. Ori, Ari are already trading a lot, and you saw your bot lane trading a lot. At this point, normally I don't like adjusting my pathing for teammates this early on in the game because I don't like making it more volatile. But you're playing Nunu, an early ganking champion, who is your goal is to get your laners ahead. So at this point, I would already be adjusting my pathing and going for the Krugs, and then looking for a quick gank on bot lane or mid lane because those are where the fights are actually happening. And then after that, I would back and go blue buff unless my blue buff got invaded, then I go their blue buff. Does that make sense?
oh yeah, that makes sense. It's pretty clear too.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I should look on my lanes more often, I
Yeah,
guess.
because the Ori, like, we didn't expect Ori to get low, and we have a plan, and I like that you have the plan. Your plan was correct. It's just sometimes the plan's going to change because your teammates, your opponents, they're all bad. So like the Ori gets way lower than she should, so then that changes how we want to play.
Yeah.
And like we can see too how pushed up Samira is, and they don't have vision, so you could literally be there right now, and then you'd probably get a gank off. And
Yeah. Yeah, I should make that decision later. And over here, just like started to, what is that?
that's not a bad gank though. That's pretty good. It didn't work out, but
Yeah,
like if Annie's pushing up or something like that, that's not bad. And the wave is good, so you can even regank. And then you see the Lee Sins there, so you know you're pretty
yeah.
safe.
Any flashes, I just like try to push as hard as possible, make
Small
him
thing
as low as
too,
possible.
but I would you just saw Lee Sin if you're paying attention. I don't know if you were, but there's no
Yeah.
reason not to walk around this way and go see if his Krugs are up, and then go to your blue side because you might as well just check
Oh,
just in case.
okay. Yeah, yeah. And after here, I just like helped her push her line because she was pretty low.
Yeah, this is good.
And then right after that, I tried to take this Crapson.
I wouldn't want to do this. Lee Sin's here, Ari, you can see like you have no prio, no one's helping you. I mean, maybe it works actually, but maybe because you
Yeah,
can take it
it
so
worked.
fast. I don't know. You kind of one-shot that
Yeah,
thing. Kill it super
yeah,
fast. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I didn't know Nunu could literally one-shot the crab. That's crazy.
yeah. It's pretty strong early game too.
Yeah.
And he
Okay.
tried to react. I just like smite it.
Yeah. No, never mind then. I was wrong. So at this
And
point, you're
yeah,
probably wanting to play for level 5 gank, so I would back right after this and then go for my Krugs so I can try to
yeah,
level 5 gank.
yeah. That's my passing right now.
Yeah,
I was
that's
trying
good.
to go back there.
Especially
And
because they're
before I
low and
was
you want to help
going,
out Vayne because that's kind of your win condition.
yeah, I was looking for them, looking at the line, looking at their health conditions,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
was trying to go, but they were not overcommitting, so I just like turned into the crabs.
Yeah, this is
Like,
good because once you get level 5, it's really good. And then you also have your sweeper. So I would wait
yeah,
for my sweeper to come up and then I would go for the gank.
yeah. And then right after this, they were overcommitting. I tried to do a
But yeah,
gank,
sweep. Okay.
and then like our Nami just like started to do that. I tried to save Nami, but unfortunately my ADC died.
Yeah, I don't know why Vayne went up
Like,
there. It was weird. Like they just kind of just I don't know, I don't know why Vayne would
yeah,
walk this far up. That's pretty troll,
yeah,
but
sure.
if Vayne turns, like this is kind of Vayne's fault. I think your gank decision is correct, and honestly, I think if Vayne turns onto Lee Sin, you either kill him or get his flash, but I don't
Yeah,
know what he's doing there. The decision is
yeah.
correct to
At least,
gank, it was fine.
yeah, at least I saved Nami, and I tried to like clear the line
Yeah, yeah.
to like helps ADC get as much minions as possible.
Yeah, that's good. I mean,
And
yeah, you played this fine. Just unfortunate.
yeah, and then I should clear my red site, my red camp, and then I just like go to blue or
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know how close you are to Sunfire, but you'd want to try to get Sunfire before first drag.
yeah. It mostly happens if I have a success on one gank, and then it will be
Yeah.
easy to sing for that before the dragons objects.
It's only 3,000, so you could probably get it if you just farm everything too. Like, but obviously as Nunu, you want to try to gank to impact the lanes.
Yeah,
But
and
that Q is
yeah,
so
my
insane.
damage is pretty good. Like I don't know why Anya is using her ult right now.
Yeah, he is weird. Like, this is why at this point I'm kind of thinking my mid laner is the only human. Like, your Orianna was winning
Yeah,
every trade. Your top laner is clearly horrible. They're playing Annie top. Your bot lane just screwed up your gank pretty bad. So in my opinion, like this is like the solo queue thing when you're playing a ganking champion, you have to actually
yeah,
identify your teammates and don't be like egotistical about it. Your teammate might make a mistake. It
yeah,
doesn't mean they're bad. But
yeah,
if you see your teammate screw up a gank that bad bot lane, you see Annie top, you should be like, okay, my Orianna's probably the one who's gonna carry if we're gonna win. So I wouldn't even care about this Annie. Like, you're worrying so much about helping a bad player. It's not ideal to me. And then the
Yeah.
cooldown thing here. You're wasting cooldown right before Herald/Dragon. Now you're useless. It's way harder to play the
Yeah.
game now. And you're wasting it again on your bad player. You're giving all of your resources to your Annie top. It's just usually a bad idea. Now, like, I like that you looked for it level 1 or like 1 or 2 minutes into the game just to check. But once you have that information that the Annie is not going to do anything, that's when you switch up. You know, you have to decide more based on how the players actually play the game.
Yeah. And after this, I got shocked by his ult.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
It's pretty
But again, you are
like
really low HP and you don't have your Sunfire bot. You're not paying attention to objectives in any way. All you're doing is, oh, the objective spawn, let me go now. You need to make a bigger plan. Again, we're wasting the ultimate before the objective. We're not backing for items. We're not deciding where to play. Like, I wouldn't even really want to play around my Annie here. I would want to play around my bot lane until they died. But like, I would want to be in that situation earlier to help my bot lane. Again, it's fine to be Herald if you want to drop it mid and help your Orianna. So I don't mind Herald. I guess it's pretty fine to go either. Actually, maybe Herald's fine because we want to trade, because we don't really want to fight since our early game went pretty bad. So I would say
also
actually Herald's good.
healing.
What?
Yeah. Also, there's healing for Nunu on his Q. So
Yeah. But still, you don't have your items, so it's kind of like.
Yeah. And he died from this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty bad. I didn't even use my smite for this.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
So
just
now,
overall
after
this
Orianna ults like that,
yeah.
I'm
I
more
just
worried
like
that all of my teammates are bad. But your Orianna's, I mean, okay, yeah. So definitely Orianna should be who you're focusing on. I mean, she got a kill. She was winning her lane the whole time. So I think if we can identify earlier who on your team is good and bad, it's easier. And sometimes when your teammates are bad, it's a good thing because they'll be pushed under their turret more, and then it's easier ganks. But
yeah.
it kind of depends on the situation for that.
Yeah. So it's like my passing like okay as a
For the
master
most part,
hero.
like I said, I would change the pathing early game to go bot lane, like to go, level 3 gank, based on how the lanes went early on. But apart from that, your pathing's fine. You're farming pretty good, like you're pretty efficient.
Yeah.
I don't really like what you just did here. I would have just gone to my red buff personally, but I think you're wasting too much time when you're low health. Your teammates are not super high health. If Lee Sin comes, you're kind of screwed. So
Yeah. But fortunately, my Annie killed Yon over here.
yeah,
I don't know how. And then I go back to get my, what is that? That item.
Sunfire. Yeah.
And
I mean, you have a lot. Gargoyle too. You should be anti-heal as well. You should go Bramble right now. Like, once you get the next 500 gold, you want Bramble for Yuumi.
Yeah, the next item was that. Yeah. I just like saw Yuumi over there. I just like bought that item.
Yeah.
I got invaded over here. And then I just like didn't know.
Let's look at this. So this is kind of what I was telling you with the wasting time thing. Now I can actually, this is partially hindsight, obviously, but
yeah,
when you're here, and this is why we want to be efficient, not just because, like, even as Nunu, who's not a farming jungler, we still want to be farming when we can to make sure our camps don't get stolen like this. But when you come here, we're looking at the situation. So when you're deciding like what to gank, or it was earlier that you ganked, okay? Here, or was it a little later? Like, we want to look at the waves. Like, the waves are what's most important, as well as our health, right? So currently the wave is even because there's no wave and then there's a wave coming from each side. You're low health. Your teammates are not high health. Enemy is full health. You don't know if they have flash or not because you weren't paying attention. Like, you're not sure, right? I'm not sure. So what is the decision for ganking here? Why is it that you want to gank? Because I don't really understand.
So I wanted to push the line for them, but I think it was not unnecessary, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, the wave is even. They can push it themselves or just let it fall under tower. Also, your tower is so low. If Lee Sin comes, like, they can pretty much just dive you. You don't know where Lee Sin is yet. So. And then now you're wasting the time here, so it is now giving you a chance. And again, even this, like, going back again, if you want to push the line, okay, you wanted to push the line, but if your goal was to push the line, why are you here when there's no wave? There's nothing to push now. So why wouldn't we go farm now, even?
Yeah. Okay.
And so the time wasting
Yeah.
thing again, yeah, now you're gonna lose your jungle here. And again, like I said, it is partially hindsight, of course, but that is why efficiency is important, even on these champions who aren't like trying to hyper carry late games. So
Yeah. And after that blue thing, I just like didn't know what to do, so I just like
well, your
like
blue buff's gone.
roaming.
Your blue side's not gonna be up for a while. So once you
Yeah.
realize your blue side's taken, we just go look for ganks. If you have no camps up, why not try to gank? You know, so I would just at this point, I realize it's gone. I'm like, okay, let me go look wherever there might be a fight. So you see Scuttle's gone. I would probably go mid now. Enemy mid turret's low. I might try to get a kill so I can break that at some point. And like this is good.
Yeah.
Exactly what you do pretty much. You get her ult out. And now that you know her ult's out, you know there's potential to gank in the future. Also, Lee Sin invaded your blue.
Yeah.
You see that he has blue and red.
Yeah.
So you know his red side's taken. You saw on the
Yeah.
map the hourglass, like the thing that says the blue is on. So you know 100% he's going to go take his blue buff as soon as he possibly can. So now that you have that information, you can decide on whether or not you want to invade. Here, I wouldn't invade because there's wards, they can see you, your team doesn't have prio, so. But that's just something that should be going through your mind, is just like, now that I don't have my camps, can I invade? Because my camps aren't up, I want to invade, or I want to gank, or I want to do something. And like, you're always thinking about your lanes before you farm, but you should, generally, you want to try to farm and then think about your lanes if you can.
Yeah.
And so yeah, like going bot here, I mean, I guess it's just because you wanted the wave, but I don't feel like it did that much. And again, you know
Yeah.
Lee Sin's here, and I'm pretty sure you would lose
Yeah.
this. So this is probably pretty dangerous, but maybe it works out.
Yeah. Yeah, it works pretty good.
That's
Like,
good then. I mean, forcing things when you're
Yumi,
behind is not the end of the world. It's not bad, but yeah, Lee's here
yeah,
for the
Lee,
counter gank, and it's scary. If he's there any earlier, it's not good, but it did work out. So
my team
Tommy
comes.
is being a weirdo, but
Yeah. So I was trying to take out Yumi first and then look for Lee Sin.
yeah.
He kills Vayne, he flashes out, and then I just like follow up, stuns him, just like take it.
No, you played that well. That was good. Again, I
Yeah.
still don't know if I would go for that just because I know Lee Sin's so close by, and I feel like you'd lose the 3v3, but maybe because you're like everyone on your team was there, it's fine.
Yeah, it was pretty lucky. After this, I take out my red, I go back home, buy some items, get my red again, I guess, and then look for a gank, I guess. Yeah.
Now I would want to go clear my top side. I would go red buff and then go to my top side, and I would look for gank afterwards. I would want to first be.
Yeah, I buy my anti-heal.
Yep.
And then I go to my red. Just
Wait,
comes out right before I came.
I forgot this was a win. I was thinking it was a loss.
Oh, this is like a win. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a win.
It's surprising because
Yeah,
your teammates are pretty bad this game, apart from Oriana. So
yeah. Just like it was pretty lucky. I was tanking everyone's. There's like no tank in my team, if you see.
is that dragon spawning? I think
No,
it's
it's
dragon.
hair. No.
It's Baron.
Oh, yeah, it's dragon.
No, it's
Yeah, it's
dragon, yeah,
dragon.
because Baron's low. So again, I mean, it's the same thing. Like I was talking to you about earlier. You were
Yeah.
there's 23 seconds until dragon. You just got your item. You're not gonna get another item, right? So
Yeah.
you don't need to farm everything, but you should probably go for blue buff at least, because it's one gonna like deny an invade if he does go for it, and two, I mean, blue buff is pretty valuable generally because you can also give it to one of your teammates. Then like your Nami could take it or someone. So why wouldn't we go blue buff and then we get everything we can, we farm what we can, so then we're ready for dragon. Instead, you're looking for a fight 23 seconds before drag, which it's not the worst thing, but there's no wave to fight on. Like when you're looking for these mid ganks, you kind of want to look for a wave because maybe they will randomly be stupid and go forward, but what are they going to go forward here? None of their minions are pushing or anything. They have minions coming into them. This Ahri, all she's thinking is there's 5 people in mid lane. I'm going to run away and the minions are going to come to me. I'm going to farm them. There's nothing that you're going to ever kill here or do. So you might as well farm instead.
Yeah. and then after this, I eat my blue and go right to the right
Yeah,
at the
but you notice
dragon.
how now this is too late because now they get
Yeah,
dragon first. Like they'll be there, so you have to walk into them. You would rather have control over it. And if you farmed it 10 seconds earlier, you would be able to walk there right now and you'd be able to get control over it. But instead, they're going to be there. You have to walk into them and it's way harder to play.
yeah. Just like this game was pretty lucky because my Oriana was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, you played
And
pretty well overall. Like the reason that I have to point out like nitpicky things. It's not, everything. Like you're playing well. There's just,
yeah,
these things are small, but they will matter in some games. So,
over here, like it was pretty low, so I just like look for the back line to like
but you
try
see
to
how
break their
often the time is always the issue with you. Again, you were there too late, so you lose it. If you were doing what I was saying with the farming earlier, you would be able to get the dragon and these kills. Everything would be yours, but instead we lose the dragon for no reason, just like you lost your blue buff and your Gromp for no reason because you were like not very efficient with your farming. So it's really just
yeah.
like you're not planning before objectives. You don't have you're like kind of backwards with when you're doing the things. Like also I would look for invade here because you don't know what of his
Yeah.
camps are up, so you should be looking at camps instead of the wave. Your team's gonna get the wave. Stop worrying about the wave. You're worrying so much about waves, and it's good to worry about the waves as a ganking jungler, but why are we not ganking? Your teammate's gonna get this, regardless. You should be trying to take his stuff. You
Yeah.
see how he has no buffs? That means that everything's up right now. He has no red, he has no blue, and you can see they're probably both up. So you literally, he goes blue right now. Just go red side. Go look at his Raptors. Probably hasn't farmed them.
Yeah, I should make a habit for that.
Yeah, yeah. Instead, you're going back to your stuff, and it's like you know the feeling when you get invaded. It sucks too. It's like it's annoying. I hate getting invaded.
Yeah,
It's really annoying. So.
pretty bad.
But yeah, in general,
And
you just need to be planning around objectives and around waves more. Like the wave tells you if you
yeah,
can gank, not just the health bars. If there's no wave, they're not gonna fight. Why would they fight without a wave? Even most of these players aren't dumb enough to do that. When the wave is pushing,
yeah,
that's when they're gonna fight. And when the objective is spawning, that's when you need to be like farming 30 seconds. So always make it a habit to look at check the scoreboard often so you know when the dragon's spawning. So when it's 30 seconds until dragon spawning, that's when you're already making the plan of what to do and to get there as quick as possible.
okay, yeah, yeah.
It's
I think
strange,
I
but
need
there's
to
more
work.
mistakes in this game than the Kayn one. Like, because it's longer, I guess, and there's more fights and everything. So
Yeah, so I think most of my Nunu games were pretty lucky because
I
I
mean,
was
it's not
just like
lucky. Like
trying
you
to
are
feed.
playing. That's what I want you to understand. It's not luck. Like you are playing good, and you're carrying. You're doing very very well. It's not that it's luck. For the skill level you're playing against right now, you're better than these people. You're playing better than them. It's not about luck. It's about when you play. If you played against someone who in this game who was better, they would abuse these mistakes and they would beat you because of them. But because of the level you're at, you are
Mhm.
carrying and you're playing good. Like it's okay to, you could still be happy with how you played. Just acknowledge that these things could be improved as well. It's not that you're playing bad or anything like that. It's not lucky. You won because of the decisions you made and the way you played. You played well overall.
Okay, yeah. Over here, as I told you in the early game of this, it's like Nunu is really strong on these types of
Yeah, you can kind of
objects.
just flip it because you have two smites basically. So
Yeah.
that's
So
fine.
like,
The only thing is Lee
yeah.
could kick you out and I'd be a little worried, but like I don't
Oh
mind
yeah, I
this.
never. Yeah. And after this, I think I ate the dragon, and they just like surrendered.
Oh, okay. That's weird. This
Yeah.
game's pretty close. I'm surprised they surrender, but
Yeah.
your building's
It's
good though.
like
Like you're building all the correct items, so I like that.
so if there's like crit AD, I just like go for the what is that Landuin? Is
Yeah,
that the right name? I'm not
yeah.
sure. And then if there's just like only 80 without like not that much crit, I just like go for the like Eyes Heart. Is that right? Not sure.
Iceborne
The
Gauntlet or
blue
Frozen
item.
Heart?
Yeah, for Frozen Heart.
Frozen Heart.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's fine. You just when you're building Frozen Heart, you kind of need to make sure you have HP in your build as well, because it gives like no HP. But you have Sunfire, so that gives
Yeah.
HP. So
And yeah, over here too, I was trying to look for like a line cover up, and
yeah, no,
then
this is good.
like there's
When you have the
no one.
Baron, you just farm enemy jungle and you cover the lanes like this. This is exactly how you should play it. Yeah, good.
Yeah, also Nunu is pretty good because you can like play it like Alistar. You can just like dive into the tower without getting that much damage.
Yeah, you're so
I
tanky.
think
It's crazy.
yeah, Nunu is pretty good. You need to make a video about it.
Yeah, I've never played Nunu before, so I kind of,
Yeah,
I
on
always say like 2 to 3 champions is how many you should play because it's hard to get good at so many at once. So this season
yeah.
for me, it's kind of been Vi, Jason, Camille. So I don't know if I'll learn
Oh,
Nunu this season, but it is a good champion, a very good champion.
yeah. I learned this champion last season, and I was like trying to work on it.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. So yeah, I was trying to look for a different selection instead of support because if my jungle top were like kind of dumb, you just like automatically lost.
Yeah, I mean,
So
actually, that is
yeah,
why I like Vi though. Like, she has so much damage, even though she is really tanky. So,
yeah,
I mean, that is a possible champion for you to try out. But otherwise, I mean, your Nunu looks like you're pretty good at that. And then just choosing like 1 or 2 more champs, just if Nunu's banned, or if you just want to play it if you get bored or whatever.